In this video, I'm going to share with you a secret sports card strategy I can promise you no one else has tried before, and I tried it out last week. It is going to absolutely blow your mind. So I'm going to walk you through a deal I just did on an $11,000 card. I didn't search for the deal. I didn't contact anyone. The guy came right to me, talked on the phone, worked out a deal, paid him money, shipped me the card, right? And if you don't know who I am, hi, my name is Eric Michael. I've sold over $5 million in sports cards, and I make these videos because I truly do think that sports cards is the best way to make a realistic, sustainable side income online. I got into sports cards back in 2015. It changed my life, and I started teaching people how to do this about 4 years ago. And what I'm about to show you is absolutely mind-blowing, okay? So let me tell you where I came up with the idea. So as a business owner, I always think to myself, how can I make my students more money, because I teach people to make money buying and selling sports cards, and how can I get them to pay me more, right? That's a good trade-off, right? They pay me more, and I make them much more money. It's something that constantly goes through my head. And I was like, well, what am I really good at? And if you guys watching this video, you may have seen that we run tons and tons of ads. Over the past 4 or 5 years, I've become an absolute expert when it comes to digital marketing, organic content, running Facebook ads, and all stuff like that. And I was like, what if I take my sports card knowledge and I pair it with Facebook ads? Not a bad idea, right? And I thought to myself, what if I ran ads to older people and to just really anyone who have older cards possibly, or maybe modern cards, to see if they would sell their cards to me? And these are the results, and it's absolutely mind-blowing. So I'm going to walk you through a deal I just did on an $11,000 card, and it came from a Facebook ad. I didn't search for the deal. I didn't contact anyone. The guy came right to me, talked on the phone, worked out a deal, paid him money, shipped me the card, all right? So what the hell am I talking about? Well, let me break down the process first. So if you go to my iPad here, you may see these ads. So we run an ad with a picture that says, hey, we're looking to buy cards. And it goes to this form right here. And as you can see on the top there, it says cards we're looking to buy, pre-1950, 1960 through 69, 50 through 59, post-2000s. We're avoiding cards from the 70s, 80s, and 90s because, as you know, a lot of you guys probably know, those cards are generally worthless. And people put their name, number, please check off what years their cards are from. And we also ask them what card they believe is the most valuable in the collection to kind of get a sense. And also, they could post pictures of the cards they have. And that's also pretty helpful. Now, let me break down to you this strategy and how it works. So Facebook ads for cards, right? So this is what happens, right? So we have an image. I'm going to put an I there for image. That goes to that form I just showed you. It goes to a form. That's not a form, but that's okay. And what happens is after that form, then gets sent via text and through Slack. Slack is a software my company uses to communicate, and we get sent these forms. So text/Slack, okay? If the form is qualified, that is key. So some of these forms are not qualified. If they only put 1970, 1980, or 1999, those middle three ones, I don't want to talk to those people. So those forms never go to us, right? Because those cards are junk and just there's nothing we can do with them. Now, once this happens and we see that a form looks good, we then call the person, all right? So that's the very simple process. We run an ad with an image to a form where once the form's filled out, I get texted it. And then if it looks good, we call the person, try to work out a deal. And we started doing this about a week ago. And let me show you some of the results. So this here is a form from a card I just bought. This guy had a big collection, but this is the main one. You can see he put that picture of Shohei Ohtani. And once I saw this, I obviously got excited because I know there's a lot of money to be made with a card like that. And I'll work with you through the deal here and like how much I paid and stuff. So this card of Shohei Ohtani blue. So I paid $11,000 for this card. Now, I literally just bought the card, so I have no idea if I'm going to make money on it. The card looks like it's in good condition. You never know. I probably give it a 50-50 chance to get a PSA 10. But check this out, right? So if we go to market movers here, Bowman Chrome, Ohtani. That is not how to spell Ohtani. Ohtani Blue. Let me get rid of this stuff. Get rid of this Stroud stuff. I was looking at some other stuff earlier. So Bowman, spelled that wrong. Bowman Chrome. So this is the exact card I bought, this pitching variations. So as you can see here, this is the data I was able to pull from the Shohei Ohtani card I just bought. And a PSA 10, which I actually think, this is just me just being in sports cards a while. The last one sold for $26,000. I know if this card grades at 10 for me, I'll be able to get more than $26,000. It's just a hunch. Just trust me. I do know. But a BGS 9.5, also the last one did $23,000. So let me break down this math to you. So I paid I paid $11,000 for this card, right? That's what I just paid. Now, how much grading is going to be? So grading cost, this is going to be probably right around $1,000 in that range, right? So my total investment is equal to, right? Not that hard of math. $12,000. Now, the card looks like it's in pretty good condition. I saw some pictures. The guy who I bought it from pulled it in a pack or a box of cards back in 2020. So it's probably in pretty good condition. And based on what I saw, it looked like it. But this is why sports cards is a beautiful thing. So check this out. So if we do a little line here. So if this card grades a PSA 9, I will be able to sell it for about $12,000 to $13,000 in that range. And if this card grades a PSA 10, this card is worth $27,000 roughly. But I'm pretty sure I'll be able to get more than $27,000, but we'll go off the recent sales. And you can see, this is why sports cards is an amazing thing. My total investment is $12,000. And here, right, I essentially break even, which is not too bad. But I actually think even if it gets a 9, I'll be able to make some money on it just because you can really demand what you want on a card like this because it's so desirable. But if it grades a 10, I am plus $15,000. That's a good gamble, right? Break even or make $15,000. Hopefully anyone would do that. Obviously, there's a little bit more that goes into this, but I'm trying to explain to you this secret sports card strategy that I started to use that is actually working. And hopefully I make a lot of money on this card. Whether I do, whether I don't, that's not the point of this. The point of this is this new strategy that I've seemed to discover could potentially be game-changing for myself, students, and I'll show it with you guys as well, because imagine a world where you could just wake up, spend money on ads, and you wake up and you just have cards, people waiting to sell their cards to you. It's pretty cool, right? And, as this begins to work, I'll begin to break this down in more detail because there is some detail that goes into this Facebook ad stuff, like how to set up tracking and properly test ads and a bunch of stuff like that. But, I've probably spent a few $100s in Facebook ads so far, and it led to this. And also one more deal that I haven't talked about that I let one of my coaches purchase. It was a lot of cards for a few $1,000s that he'll also probably be able to make a few $1,000s on. A bunch of like 1980 Tiffany stuff, pre-1950 stuff. But this stuff's pretty cool. What you could do with automation and digital marketing and, sports cards. And there's a great book. I'll lead you guys off with this. Why this is such a good strategy. So there's a great book called Blue Ocean Strategy. It's one of the most famous business books of all time. And it talks about how to create your own blue ocean, your own non-competitive market, which is kind of what I did with sports card coaching, right? Because no one else does it. And a good example of this blue ocean strategy that I talk about is Cirque du Soleil, right? The famous circus that was in Vegas for years, and I believe it still is. So what they did is they took a dying industry, the circus. The circus used to be a massive industry, but it was dying. They took it and paired it with super entertaining, daring, fun, dangerous activities, and they paired these two things together, and it creates a blue ocean because no one else is doing it, right? It took thrill and excitement and compared it with what used to be a popular industry that was dying, and it's still around today. And that's essentially what this is here. So, right, I'm taking sports cards, which has been around for a long time and it's growing, and I'm pairing it with something it's not connected with, which is digital marketing and Facebook ads and stuff like that, pairing the two together, and I've created my own blue ocean. Because what's happening is, for example, that Ohtani card I just bought, the person I bought it from, he doesn't have this card on eBay or Facebook or Instagram. He's not online. And a lot of these people that were buying cards from through these Facebook ads, we're buying cards that aren't even on the market. So one, you can't even find them, and two, you have no one else to compete with that you have to negotiate against, because these cards just simply aren't on the market. Like, there's people that are contacting us that have had grandparents that have had cards for years, people of all types of people like that. And that is why this is a beautiful strategy. Number one, these cards are coming to us on autopilot. Number two, these are off-market deals, right? When someone is posting a card on eBay or Facebook or Instagram, chances are they probably have an understanding of the market and are going to be asking almost top dollar. And number three, it's just a beautiful thing, right? So it's off-market. The deals are just coming to us on autopilot. Don't have to negotiate that hard. And a lot of the times these cards are in really good condition. We ran into different boxes and cases. Like, there's another deal we're working on. This guy has a complete set of 1954 Bowman and 1956 all the way until 1965 Topps. The complete set. None of it is graded at all. And guess what? There's no one else competing on these deals except for me, right? And that's really how to create a blue ocean. So nice little exercise for, I guess, you to think about, like, how to kind of nail down a market. But hopefully this stuff makes sense. Want to share this little discovery with you guys because I think it's super cool, super unique, taking something like Facebook ads and pairing it with sports cards, and it turns out it's actually working. I actually didn't think it would work. I gave it about a 25% chance to work, but I was like, hey, what the hell? Might as well try it out. But hopefully you like this stuff. If you have any questions about this, feel free to leave a comment. I try to answer as many of the comments in a podcast I do every week. I go on my iPad, I draw, I answer a bunch of people's questions. It's a fun time. But hopefully you like this stuff. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.